Prophet Sulaiman, peace be upon him, was a very special person in history. He was not only a king but also a prophet of Allah. This means, he had a very important job. He was the son of Prophet Dawood, peace be upon him, who was also a great king and prophet. From a young age, Sulaiman showed incredible wisdom. Allah gave him a kind heart and a very clever mind. He loved Allah very much and always wanted to do what was right. His story is filled with amazing lessons for all of us, showing us how to be fair, kind, and thankful for the gifts we receive in our lives. As a king, Sulaiman ruled over a big and powerful kingdom, but he was not like other kings who only cared about gold and land. He was a just ruler who always made sure his people were treated fairly. If two people had a problem, they would come to him, and he would listen carefully. He would use his wisdom, which was a gift from Allah, to find a solution that was good for everyone. He wanted everyone in his kingdom, from the richest person to the poorest, to feel safe and happy. His main goal was to create a land where people lived in peace and worshipped Allah. One famous story shows us how wise he was, even as a young boy. Two women came to his father, Prophet Dawood, with a baby. Both women said the baby was theirs. It was a very difficult problem. Prophet Dawood decided to give the baby to the older woman, but young Sulaiman had a different idea. He asked for a knife and said, "I will cut the baby in two and give half to each of you." The real mother cried out in fear. She said, "No, please give the baby to the other woman, just let him live." Sulaiman then knew who the real mother was, because a mother would never want her child to be harmed. This story teaches us so much about Prophet Sulaiman. It shows that he had a deep understanding of people's hearts. He did not just look at what people said, he understood what they truly felt inside. This is a special kind of wisdom that comes from being close to Allah. He used this gift to bring justice and protect those who were weak. His clever thinking saved the baby and showed everyone that he was destined to be a great and fair leader. His reign was built on this foundation of compassion and true justice for all the people he was responsible for. Allah gave Prophet Sulaiman, peace be upon him, many wonderful and unique gifts. These were miracles that no other king had ever received. He was given control over the wind. He could command it to take him and his army wherever he wanted to go, very, very fast. Imagine traveling on a carpet of wind, reaching a place in the morning that would normally take a month to travel to. This was a great blessing, and Sulaiman used it to manage his vast kingdom and spread the message of Allah to faraway lands. He was also given control over the jinn, who were powerful beings that people could not see. The jinn worked for Prophet Sulaiman. They were strong and skilled builders. They would dive deep into the sea to bring out precious pearls and treasures. They also built magnificent things for him, like great palaces, large reservoirs for water, and huge cooking pots for feeding his people and his army. These were not ordinary constructions. They were marvels of engineering that no human could build alone. Sulaiman used these powerful helpers to build a kingdom that was beautiful and strong. But he always remembered that this power was from Allah, and he made sure the jinn worked for good things. Another amazing miracle was his ability to understand the language of animals and birds. He could listen to what they were saying to each other. This was a very special gift. He could hear the conversations of ants on the ground and the birds flying in the sky. This was not just a fun trick. It helped him be a more compassionate and aware ruler. He learned important lessons from the smallest of creatures. It showed that in Allah's creation, every living thing has a purpose and a voice, and Prophet Sulaiman was blessed to be able to understand them. With all these blessings, Prophet Sulaiman built a grand army. His army was unlike any other. It was made up of humans, jinn, and even birds. The birds would fly above his army, creating a huge shadow that protected them from the hot sun. They also acted as his messengers and scouts, flying ahead to see what was coming. This incredible army showed the power and glory of his kingdom. Yet Sulaiman was a humble leader. He never used this mighty army to be a tyrant or to show off his power. He led them with discipline, wisdom, and a deep sense of responsibility to Allah. One day, Prophet Sulaiman, peace be upon him, was marching with his huge army of men, jinn, and birds. They were passing through a valley. As they marched, Sulaiman heard a tiny voice. It was the voice of an ant. The ant was speaking to the other ants, saying, "O ants, go into your homes, so that Sulaiman and his soldiers do not crush you without even knowing it." Prophet Sulaiman heard this, and a gentle smile came to his face. He was amazed by the little ant's care for its community and its intelligence. He was also happy that Allah allowed him to hear and understand this tiny creature. This small moment was very important to Prophet Sulaiman. He stopped his entire massive army. He did this just to make sure they did not harm the ants. This shows us his incredible kindness and humility. He was a powerful king, but he cared about the smallest of Allah's creatures. He did not see the ant as insignificant. Instead, he learned from it. He prayed to Allah, thanking him for this blessing and for making him a person who could appreciate such small wonders. This story teaches us to be mindful and respectful of all living things, no matter how small they seem to us. Another famous story is about the Queen of Sheba, whose name was Bilqis. She was a powerful queen who ruled a rich kingdom, but she and her people worshipped the sun instead of Allah. Prophet Sulaiman sent her a letter, inviting her to believe in the one true God. The queen was very wise and decided to visit Sulaiman to see his kingdom and his wisdom for herself. Sulaiman wanted to show her a miracle that would prove his prophethood was from Allah. He asked his court, "Who can bring me her throne before she arrives?" A powerful jinn said he could bring it in the blink of an eye, and just like that, the queen's grand throne appeared in Prophet Sulaiman's palace. When Queen Bilqis arrived and saw her own throne, she was completely astonished. She realized that this was not magic, but a true miracle from a powerful God. She understood that Sulaiman's power was not just that of a king, but of a prophet of Allah. This amazing event helped her see the truth. She accepted the message of Prophet Sulaiman and chose to worship Allah alone. He used his miracle not to boast, but to guide someone to the right path. Throughout his life, with all his power, wealth and miracles, Prophet Sulaiman, peace be upon him, never forgot Allah. He knew that everything he had was a gift and a test from his Lord. When he saw the Queen of Sheba's throne appear before him, he did not say, "Look how powerful I am." Instead, he immediately said, "This is by the grace of my Lord to test me whether I am grateful or ungrateful." This shows his deep humility. He understood that true strength is not in having power, but in being thankful for it and using it wisely. He was always in a state of gratitude. Prophet Sulaiman never tried to compete with anyone or show off his blessings. His goal was always to use his gifts to bring people closer to Allah. He used his wealth to help the poor. He used his power to establish justice. He used his miracles to prove the truth of Allah's message. He built a beautiful temple for the worship of Allah, a place for people to gather and pray. His entire life was a service to God. He understood that the real purpose of his kingdom was not to make him famous, but to spread goodness and an understanding of the one true Creator. His devotion was a clear example for everyone. He prayed regularly, and always remembered to thank Allah for everything, big or small. From hearing an ant's whisper to ruling a mighty kingdom, he saw the hand of Allah in all things. This constant remembrance kept his heart pure and his intentions clear. He was a king with unimaginable power, but he was first and foremost a humble servant of Allah. He knew that one day, he would have to return to Allah and answer for how he used all the gifts he was given. This thought guided all of his actions as a king and as a prophet. The story of Prophet Sulaiman, peace be upon him, is full of timeless lessons for us today. It teaches us that true greatness comes with humility and gratitude. It shows us that power and wealth are tests from Allah, and we should use them to help others, not to feel proud. His kindness to animals teaches us compassion for all of creation. His wisdom and judgment teaches us the importance of being fair and just. Most importantly, his life reminds us to always be thankful to Allah for our blessings, and to use them in a way that pleases Him. His legendary tale is a beautiful guide on how to live a life of purpose and faith.